as your reigning, defending champion of the MC Holland 34 Invitational on DraftKings, it is my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's broadcast. The man that contest is named after joins me around the corner to break down an 8-game slate. That'll be a fun one for sure. Let's do it. Recording live from somewhere. This is One and Done. The intro is so fire, baby. It's time once again for everybody to come aboard that One and Done train. Welcome to One and Done. Bienvenidos a todos a One and Done, your fast break of college basketball información. And we are here tonight for our third DFS show of this young season. Welcome to the show. Welcome to One and Done. My name is Jay Heinrich, and if you don't know, now you know. I'm the conductor of the aforementioned One and Done train at Dr. William Cannon on X. You can follow us at the show page or for the show page at One and Done CBB scrolling across the bottom of your screen. But do yourself a favor and follow this man first. Around here, he's known as El Capitan himself, MC Holland 34 in the flesh, the OG Money Mike, Mr. Mike Holland. Mike, what it do? How you feeling?
Feel pretty good, man. We did our recap show yesterday. That was a lot of fun. We've been doing these instant reaction shows that are getting a lot of views, man. So we appreciate everyone joining for that. Had obviously a nice day in DFS the other day on Saturday night, or Saturday for the main slate, taking down the $1,000 thanks to Neo Abdulas and the overtime game. And then tried to hold on for first yesterday and a little 500 to first, but then got chased down by an overtime game and a Kanye Clary injury. So here we are for another show, an 8-game slate. And this slate rocks, man. Like, this is going to be an absolute dynamite slate, and there's dynamite games all over the place.
Not me yesterday texting you in all caps, Michi, when he hit that 3, and then you immediately telling me how that cost you first place. So I apologize for that. Yeah. But no, we just having a little bit of fun here, of course, on One and Done. And you too can have a little bit of fun in the live chat, the liveliest live chat in all of college hoops. Just like our guy Darren hopping in early on, take the Jaden Epps under every time. Well, he didn't. Tonight, of course, but
what we should also do is jump into this invitational again, Jay, that you won the last time we posted it, man, with a really nice lineup that you had there, man. So got the QR code up in the corner there, $5, 40 spots this time. Let's see if we can get. These are some awesome games on this slate, man. We're gonna try to fill this thing up to 40 people. So, jump in there, grab a friend. We got the link down there. Hey, looks like Zion's left shoe is asking questions already. So I don't know, man. Jump into this slate and we'll jump into the contest and we'll have some fun with it.
Yeah, those are the right questions to ask. Do we have some pricing way too cheap? Mike's going to give that to you in his overview and then a little bit more before we hop into this 8-gamer. But make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Mike, how about that quick overview of this slate? A lot of superlatives that you're throwing around early on about it. It sounds like it's going to be a fun one. What do you think before we start getting into this 8-gamer?
It's going to take 1,000,000 points to win this slate. Zion's left shoe, who's actually in our best ball league. Appreciate him or her joining our best ball league that's going on right now. There are just so the pricing. Yeah, it's still not quite there. Now it's a little bit better than what we've seen. But the best part about the slate is there's not that many blowouts, right? And even in some of the blowouts, you have 3 of the 4 teams are Power 5 teams, so you don't mind that. And yeah, we have some guys that we're going to just want to hit the lock button, but there's a lot of tournament plays that we're going to talk about where you can get kind of crazy, and that's typically what I do. I'll have 10 plus lineups, and I'm just going to spread out, try to find sub 8% guys that'll take me to the very top, man. So yeah, exciting times for the slate, and I'm looking forward to. This is the first one where you have premier matchups all over the place.
Mike getting crazy. They called him Wild Man Mike back in the day. No, they didn't call him that. But either way, we're going to bring you all the plays that you can make to hopefully piece together that lineup. And we're chasing commas around here. And that's what we're hoping happens for you and us and everybody in the One and Done universe. All right, man. I know everybody's already hit the like and subscribe buttons, of course, because why wouldn't they have? So moving on now, let's get right into it, Mike. It's an 8-game slate, like I've said about 28 times at least already today. And what all of these figures that we're going to talk about, including these projected totals and things like that, and the ratings. This is all Ken Palm's statistics from around 5 p.m. today. Let's start off, Mike. Wake Forest and the Wolverines of Michigan, a 161 juicy implied total there. And Wake Forest has 75 of those in their back pockets. At least that's, according to these projections here. They are getting up and down. Both of these teams get up and down. Top 50 tempos early on. I like Nate Calmese. I don't really understand it. Zion's left shoe was asking about mispriced players, and it's fitting that we lead off with Calmese here because I know he had foul trouble last game, Mike, but he played 32 minutes in the first game. He hasn't even shot the ball a lot, but it's just all the dimes that we're seeing that we're going to expect from him in the future as well. I think he's a great play in all formats. I know a lot of times when I lead off with these teams, Mike, I take some of the more expensive players at the top. I wasn't going to let Calmese needed to be the guy that we led this show off with because he's just that awesome of a play in all formats.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's gonna take shots. It's just a matter of getting into this type of game environment. They're gonna need him. And yeah, he's just way too cheap. So he's one of the mispriced players that's on the slate. He's going to be super popular, but maybe not the only play in this game. I mean, you can say that about a lot of these games, which makes it going to be a fun slate. Like I said, Trayvon Spillers, man, at the very top, he's probably the one guy I'm going to cross off. He's 8,400. Now, he is off to a nice start. I just don't like the matchup against this front court. I mean, how many times have we talked about it, right? Going up against Lindeborg and Morris Johnson and Adi Mara. So, I mean, while he's a really strong rebounder and he can get you some stocks, man. Like, I just worry about the $8,400 price tag. He would be like more of a contrarian tournament play as we kind of go through the slate here. Juke Harris, breakout year here in year 2, man. 25% usage rate. He's drawing fouls at an elite rate, but man, their first couple of games against American University and Moorhead. So we take it with a little bit of grain of salt here. Should see 30-ish minutes in this one. The only concern here, again, the matchup. Don't know that I love it, but I think overall he's a solid play. Makai Mason, $600 cheaper, 24% usage rate through the first couple of games. Now, he has turned it over a lot. And he's always been a shot-dependent player ever since, he's been on the DFS slates with last year with Washington, and I believe Rice a couple of years before that. So if you think he gets hot from the field, I guess you could play him. I don't see a reason why you would need to, though. So, yeah, probably passing on myself on Makai Mason. We got to talk about this front court, man, because Cooper Schweiger, he's 3,800, right? He's a Valpo transfer. He didn't play the first game. He made his return from injury last game. He played 13 minutes. I don't know if this is a game where he just goes right back to 25, gets into like a 25-minute role. So probably I might hit the wait and see because we have clear value options. But for a large field tournament, man, he feels like a kind of a shot in the dark to see if maybe they'd play him 25 to 28 minutes. Like last year, Valpo, he had a 23% usage rate and a 25% combined rebounding rate. So nearly a top 100 in block rate. But yeah, it's just more of a question of if he would even get the minutes, man. So yeah, I mean, Schweiger, he's in the value player pool. Baloo starts at center, but he hasn't done anything. So yeah, I think for me, man, like you just got to play a lot of lineups with Calmese. Maybe a shot at a Juke Harris, Cooper Schweiger. I don't know. Like we're just gonna talk about so many good plays that you don't want to go crazy on this side too, especially when you have all these high team totals coming up.
Michigan's one of them at 86. I'll take Yaxel. Sure, 9K flat. No need to worry. My accountant handles that. Actually, he's not going to handle that because I think Yaxel's still wait and see, right? It was sort of a surprise leading up to last game. I believe the last time out, coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And like we were, it was sort of one of those scramble mode things where our lineups are in, and I had Yaxel in a couple of things, and I was like, dang, he's not even starting. And they had his hand was wrapped up, right? And warm ups, and you're like, what is happening? And they didn't use him a ton either. So I don't know. I don't want to pay 9K for uncertain
Yeah.
Yaxel. I want to pay 9K for Yaxel on a good day for sure. But even through all that, Mike, he still played more minutes than Mara and
The whole
Morris.
thing was
Like
weird.
it was a really weird game. So hit Mara and everybody else you want to on this Michigan side.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing for Lindeborg is if he starts, then you got to think he's fully healthy. And at that point, people may be scared away based on what happened last time. But if large field, you could potentially play him. There's just a lot of risk with that. Mara and Johnson, man, like they ended up on the optimal last time with Lindeborg coming off the bench and still outplaying them by a couple minutes. But this dude can light up the box score, man. Mara, he's just a rates monster, elite rebounder, shot blocker. Always a great tournament play, even if he only plays 25 minutes, which is pretty much where he's going to be on most nights where they have competitive games. Morris Johnson, he's looked really good all year so far. I really like when I say all year. Obviously, they played one game, but he's been in the exhibition games, especially that St. John's game where he was putting up highlights, man. So just love what I've seen from him out of the preseason in this first game. 6,900. If he starts, potentially. And then these guards, man, I don't really have any interest in any of these guards, Jay. Like Cadeau, he's still too expensive. Gale, no thanks. He's like the third or fourth scoring option. Amari Burnett, he's just kind of the same as Gale. So really, it's like maybe pick one of the bigs here. If Yaxel starts, man, that gets kind of interesting for a large field tournament. But we don't know his situation. We'll have to see if we get any news on what's going on, because it looks like he hurt his hand twice in that last game. He was doing a dunk, and then I think it was when he blocked a shot. The whole thing was just kind of weird.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do it even if he starts. I kind of got to see it. But like you said, if his hand's not wrapped pregame, at least, like that's the key
Right?
for me.
Yeah.
We'll see what it looks like, but obviously the talent is there for somebody that I have repeatedly said should probably be playing in the league right now. Um, get him healthy, fire him up, but we'll see. Don't blame me if you want to take a shot on Yaxel. One game down in this 8-game slate. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. The liveliest live chat in all of college hoops is firing up. The godfather of Iowa bowling, C Thuggin, hopped in there. What up, Cam? John and Darren taking care of the mean green in the audience for sure. Yeah, the king of the MC Holland 34 Invitational. I don't know, man. I'm trying to win this thing back to back. I would like to be known as someone that has won that tournament, that invitational multiple times. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe you can come just beat me in that same tournament. The link is in the live chat. $5 with probably we're hoping to have 40 of the hoop heads in there. Yeah, there it is right there up on the screen. So why don't you join that? Go over to DraftKings, join the game, join the invitational with us here and the gang. The gang's all here. Why don't you go hit that button, hit the subscribe button, hop in the live chat, and do all that stuff. All right, Duke and Army here. Do not adjust your dials. 27-point favorites are the Blue Devils here. So obviously the big time blowout worries could be in place. We'll start with Duke and the 89 points. Cam Boozer, 10.2K. I mean, he's obviously a beast. We've seen it. I talked about him on the show last night. 2 games, over 40 fantasy points. Got it down last game in that 41-point blowout, so can't really be afraid to go here, I think. Like 46.5 fantasy points in 23 minutes that game. Obviously, if he's playing, I don't normally like paying 10.2K for 23 minutes of anybody. But if you're gonna do it, it's probably Boozer. You could spend down a little bit if you wanted to, but it still might be too expensive for Isaiah Evans, just sort of that shot-dependent wing. He's got to go bananas from 3, which he can do. He can pull it off, but I don't think I'm going to pay 7K for Evans. And then Gongba, 6.3, steady, but that price tag is probably still too high for him. So honestly, man, out of those, I'm thinking like, why not Boozer? Because we're going to be able to get some bargains here, and then you could probably get to Boozer pretty easily. But who else on the Blue Devil side, man?
Yeah, I mean, I played Boozer when people didn't want to because of the blowout risk, but sometimes we've seen it. Condon, like 55 against North Florida in a blowout. Boozer, 45 or whatever in a blowout. Like sometimes in a tournament, large field, you can't be afraid to play. It might not be like the most optimal look, right? But yeah, I just the rest of these guys kind of getting priced where they should be. There's just so much usage that goes through Cam Boozer. Evans takes a ton of shots. Caden Boozer's too expensive. And you got Dame Sarr at 5,500. Price has fallen, man, but he only has a 15% usage rate. Nicholas Kaminia, 4,500. He's going to play 18 to 20 minutes. He has a little bit of upside. I don't know why you would do that when you can just play Count Mies at 4K. Now, they do have a couple of cheap options. Caleb Foster, he's 4,300. Look, I know he put up 24 in the blowout. He's definitely an option, but he's pretty much in a timeshare with Caden Boozer. So, in a large field, no one's going to play him. So, I'm going to take a shot that like he's efficient and gets some steals and knocks out a couple of threes. And he's got a low usage rate. So you're really just hoping that everything goes well for him. Malik Brown sitting here at 3,600. Yeah, man, like a solid value option. He's a guy that can do a little bit of everything. He can, get you some stocks. He can shoot threes. He can rebound. So he can easily pay this off. As you see, he's got, he had 18 and a half there in that blowout with 10 points, 4 boards, and assists and a block. So 4 for 4 from the field will definitely help with that. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely a guy that has 18 to 20 fantasy point ceiling even in a blowout here, man. But yeah, it's pretty much Boozer. And if you wanted to take a dart on Foster or Brown, this Army side, Jay, looks pretty. I mean, they're cheap, but it looks kind of gross, right? With the rest of the slate, they're the one team that the lowest team total by far.
That's how I want my DFS plays to be described: cheap and gross. I don't know, man. Like all the starters, all these guys are under 5K. McCarthy's under 4K. Yeah, they're cheap, man. But it's really I wouldn't blame someone for wanting to in this total. And if Army can, I don't know how they'll get over 65, 68. I don't know how they get there, but they could. And then one of these guys, Mike, I mean, maybe just do this one. Please. Dart right there. I don't know. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, look, Ryan Curry, he's the usage rate leader, 27%. He's kind of the engine of the office. Solid assist rate. But, man, yeah, this is just a tough matchup. They're not going to get very many buckets, so that assist rate kind of goes out the window. Everson's a high usage forward. McCarthy's like a 3-point shooting wing. Those guys all play 30 minutes. The problem is foul trouble could happen. The blowout could change up the rotation. It's pretty much the entire starting lineup start throws. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Jay, if somebody could end up getting 5 to 6x, I don't know. I couldn't sit here and tell you who's going to do it. So I'm going to make, even if as a tourney player, man, I'm kind of like, I don't think you don't really have to do that, because we're going to talk about a couple of the guys that are really cheap where you don't even have to do that. So yeah, be my guest if you want to take a shot. If you hit it and you beat me with that 1%er,
yeah,
is what it
shake
is.
Your hand, shake your hand on, and it'll be on Veterans Day, Mike, and it'll be that much sweeter when I just throw a dart on one of those Army guys and go back to back in the one and done the MC Holland 34 Invitational. But that the link is for in the live chat, the liveliest live chat. It's firing up, and we love to see it. All the boys, and who knows? I'm sure there's some breadheads out there that aren't dudes, and we hope so. I mean, there's plenty of ladies out there in those DFS streets, and we hope that you hit that button if you're hanging out with us here on One and Done. So make sure you do that, regardless of gender. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Shout out to Nate pushing the buttons tonight, our guy at Napesy Hustle, and then of course at Fantasy Nav in those Twitter streets, Eric the Blue, getting everything ready at the studio, getting all the links set up and all that stuff. So shout out to him as well. Forklift Jeremy, good to see you in the chat, man. Hey, let's get to Florida State and Florida, Mike. A game with a little bit of, maybe a little bit of rivalry, a little hatred, a little bit. It's a hate is a strong word, but it's probably applicable here. A very, very nice 167 point implied total. Florida, 92 of those. Florida State, 75. Both of these teams good up and down. A lot of possessions are going to be had. A lot of shots going to be taken. Florida State with 75 of those implied points here. Kind of starts with Robert McRae, of course, 8,800 in the backcourt, transferred in from Jacksonville. Of course, he's looked great, dominating that mid-major competition like he's done his entire career. Now this is the test. So we like to talk about those tier A games from mid-major guys and how they perform. In 11 career tier A games, shot 24% from three with a 22% turnover rate. I like Robert McRae. I don't like him at 8,800, and I don't like him this early in the season. In this particular matchup, I'm going to pass. And then I'll also pass on Kobe McGee at 7,400, transfer from Drexel. Like Jones, then I like that low usage wing, been really efficient, but this is kind of a whole different ball game. Not paying that price tag for these guys yet, Mike. I'm refusing. Not in this matchup. And I mean, you're going to talk about Jones here. I know you, but again, is he even somebody that we can get to, and who can we get to on this Seminole side?
Yeah, no, I'll pass on Jones. Like, just I can't do it. Low usage wing, man. Martin Somerville's in that backcourt too. Low usage. I'm more interested in these forwards today. So you got Chauncey Wiggins at 5,200, transferring from Clemson. Looks like he's going to have a massive role in this offense as a stretch four. He's got to get there on shooting and rebounding because he's not really going to give you much else. His 32% shot rate to start the year is pretty nice. And hey, look, man, I thought he was going to come in when I saw Florida State a couple of days ago that I kind of knew was going to be on the slate. I thought it would be closer to like a 6,500 price tag. So the fact that we're getting him at 5,200 is pretty solid, man. He's just a solid play in all formats. Alex Steen is like my large field play here, man. Dude, he dominated the JUCO ranks, man. He's been a high usage player in their first couple of games. Playing the 5 for him, he's 23% usage rate, really good rebounder, has some shot blocking upside. But these two guys, Wiggins and Steen, man, like they got to stay on the floor and stay out of fouls because they're dealing with some monsters over on the best front court in the country. Where they have basically 5 forwards that can dominate you, and now they have one of their forwards playing the 3. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to take a shot at Steen in a large field, Wiggins is a solid play just because of the price and his role right now, man.
I like finding low-priced forwards like that, like Steen, man. Um, Not somebody who he has that type of a skill set that just transfers, right? Like the type of ball player that, even though it's a step up, he's just got that type of a game. So get him now before the price tag goes up. How about the Florida side, Mike? 92 implied points here. Condon is 6th in KenPom's Player of the Year rating right now. If you have that on your bingo card at home, 9,500 on this particular slate. Big race to start the year, Mike. 28% usage, 32% combined rebound rate, 22% assist rate, 5% block, 4% steal. Whew, that's a lot, and the price tag is a lot too. You're paying for every bit of that. Could he drop 50 in this spot? It's possible, especially with this implied total in this game and on this side. But there's probably just more risk in a tougher matchup, and the front court rotation here it's legit, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty legit, right? Like, I know it's against North Florida. He put up a 54 ball, 28 against Arizona. I'm not saying that Florida State, Steen and Wiggins, right, are going to be, just absolute stoppers here. But, man, there's just something like 9,500 Condons feels kind of crazy, man, especially with Houck, too, at 9,200. Like, man, you're having to pay for these guys. So let's make some really cool pay-up options because really it's going to be everyone's going to play top end at 10K. You have the 2 Florida guys over 9K, and then you have Boozer at 10 over 10K in a game that he's only going to play 22 to 24 minutes. Now, now this is projected to be a blowout, but there's going to be so many possessions in this one, and we just saw that they left these guys out there, right, against North Florida, right? Still played 27 minutes. Houck did. So when you're talking high 20s minutes, like Houck's rates have just been different this year because he's playing a different position. Not really seeing the big rebounding. You're not really seeing the stocks, right, because he's not inside blocking as many shots. But there's still big time upside here. So I don't think we need to go here, but I think both of these guys are pretty cool tournament plays. Really, that's how I feel about everybody on the Florida side, man. Boogie Fland is a really cool tournament play. I didn't see him being a 13% usage player on my radar to start. It's only been 2 games, but that was really weird to see. He's been deferring a lot to the bigs, obviously, and Xavier Lee. defenses are also choosing to make Lee beat them. I love that he hasn't turned the ball over yet this year, and this is a spot where he can do some damage. I think he's a sneaky tournament play. Xavier Lee here, 25% shot rate, 21% assist rates are solid, but he's really struggling with the three ball, so can't do it at that price. And then you got Thomas Handlocked in here, man. He was on the optimal the other day just because he absolutely crushed North Florida 40 piece. So okay, like he was good and solid against Arizona too, but he's only gonna play 20 minutes, and outside of rebounding and like a cheap double and a couple of blocks, it's gonna be hard to kind of pay off more than a 4x at 5,700. And this is definitely a slate where you need a lot of upside on, especially trying to win the big one.
Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on Boogie. Yeah, he doesn't look happy, but that's what Darren said. But I feel like that might change a little bit here. We shall see. You're gonna have to pay for it, 8,200. But just think about it when he's 8,800 next game. You're gonna be like, man, I wish I would have fight for him at 8,200. Right there. It's big brain energy. Good stuff. Hey, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Cam, Darren, Forklift, Jeremy, everybody's in the live chat tonight. John's hopping in, of course. Darren, what did I say? Snake's Eyes, Zion's Left Shoe, who is not in last place in the Fantrax Best Ball League that we did a draft for here on One and Done, the first ever Fantrax Best Ball draft here on the show. And I'm sitting middle of the pack right now. TKR not playing hasn't really helped me much, but hopefully he can get on the floor, and we can do some damage there with our friends over on Fantrax and the breadheads that joined that league. Excellent stuff here as we roll along. Keep it rolling. Rolling. What? Dayton at Cincinnati, a 142-point implied total. Not as exciting. And that is an understatement, as it is the lowest implied total on the slate. Dayton plays at a snail's pace, 352nd in tempo in the country right now. I'll start with them. Keontae Jones, 7,700, foul trouble in that blowout in that first game, Mike. But big minutes in the second game, played all but 3 in that one. Awful usage to start the year, just 10%. But in his career, he's been someone that can rack up those peripheral stats and stocks. But this is a tough matchup, and I don't like this total, and I don't like the price. So
Yeah.
I'll pass on Jones on this one, man. And who do you like on Dayton, or who do you maybe I should ask you, who do you not like? I don't know. What do you think about this Dayton side?
Yeah, I mean, the one guy I'm really interested in would be Javon Bennett, just for tournaments. One of the lone returning guys here in the backcourt. Seeing a big spike in usage this year, is going from 17 to 24%. He has a 30% assist rate. That puts him firmly in play as a mid-tier, but we're going to talk about a lot of great mid-tier options. So just for large field only. Deshane Montgomery at 5,500. He was a nice pickup for them, real life, coming over from Georgia. Really showing improvement in the peripherals early in the season and stocks, but this was against mid-major competition. Just kind of file him away as another 5K option worth a look in tournaments. And then you got this kid, Emile Letang. He's 5,800. He's a 7'1" big, and he's consuming a ton of usage to start the year. Top 50, 33% in the first couple of games here. Top 100 defensive rebounding percentage. The only concern is he's probably not going to play more than 22 to 23 minutes. And we're going up against a pretty tough Cincinnati front line with Baba Miller and Mustafa Cham. So, yeah, there's not much here, man, especially with that team total. It's almost like Army. You could pretty much cross them off unless you think Bennett might be okay for like a single entry type stuff just because he's safe with his minutes and he has a high usage rate.
Yeah, but the big man is 7'1", and you can't teach that. Maybe it's a wait and see for all of Dayton in this one. Baba Miller, you mentioned him a little bit ago. You mentioned both front court mates here on this Bearcat side. I'll take Baba Miller, the FAU transfer big. Saw 30 minutes in a tight game against Georgia State. And we know that he has a lot of ways to get there. It's why 7,400. I don't know, man. He can get there, but you're paying for almost max Baba Miller here. You're paying for that upside. It's all cooked in here. Plus, look, $1,400, just a little bit cheaper there, and it's Chum sitting right there, my man. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean 6K. I definitely have interest in that, man. Like an awesome tournament play, transferred in from UCF, elite shot blocker. I think you have him on best ball, so I know you're hoping to get some big numbers out of him, man. He's got the massive usage rate to start the year, which is like what you'd love to see: elite shot blocking rate, rebounding upside, and a massive usage rate. Yeah, that works in tournaments, man. He's put up 26 and 28, which is over 4x. That works as a floor. So if that's going to be his floor, like we haven't even seen the upside, man. He's a core tourney type play for me. Day Thomas at 7K, man. I was hoping we could get him at like 6K. Just an elite defender, right? So he gets you some stocks, some steals. Takes a lot of threes. I don't love him at 7K, but he's a sneaky tournament play. Kirkrisa, not going there. He's kind of like the fourth or fifth option on this team. Shauna Bev at 4,500. He's an impressive true freshman, one that we didn't give any love to. Like you were saying the other day, Jay, there's just so many impressive freshmen. Can't get to all of them, man. Taking a lot of shots, man, but the minutes just really haven't been there for him. Definitely in the value player pool with this scoring upside, but I think we just kind of wait for a different slate to mess around with him. I don't really see any point here. So for me, Jay, it's kind of some Mustafa Cham in tournaments, and then like if you want to get cute with the Day Thomas, I guess you could. I don't see anything else on here, man. There's just the really good games are about to come up here, especially one with some huge totals where we got some cats that we're going to want to get into our lineups.
Yeah, Chom. Just open the app. If your screen is cracked, then do whatever you got to do to maneuver it, but then click his name. Okay. Solid play on this slate for sure. Corey, I don't need your juvenile humor in our live chat. The king of the single entry. I did it on air. There you go. I did it for everybody. Snake size. He's not a true 7-footer. Hey, nobody got mad at Martin Hanks for having a big long neck and just being nice in the pros. No, we don't hate here on the long neck, folks. Okay, I promise you. Especially if it makes you 7'1", because you can't teach that. All right, good stuff there. Hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Moving on now. The game is this what we're gonna? Are we reacting to this one tomorrow night, Mike?
Yeah, this is our reaction show tomorrow.
So make sure you got the notification bells turned on there, because we're going to be doing our what has turned into quite a popular gimmick for us here on One and Done, our live reaction show. So make sure you have those notifications on. Kentucky and Louisville, a 167-point implied total. We like that one for sure. I'll start with Kentucky, 83 points implied here. But man, like with these rotations and hardly who's going over 25 minutes, it's tough. Let's take a Owe, like maybe the one guy we could look at in GPPs. This type of matchup, the ceiling's super high, obviously, and he's one of the guys. If you had to pick, like if you said, Jay, pick one guy that would get 28 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, it'd be Owe. So, but even then, man, like this is large field type stuff. I think just because that ceiling is there. Do you want to pay for any of these guys, Mike?
Yeah, the Kentucky almost feels like a cross this year. It feels like they're so talented and deep. Like it's pretty wild, man. You got Mo Diabate here sitting at 6,800. Another turning option, right? He could smash with closer to like 28 to 30 minutes. We saw him do that in Alabama in like 20 minutes. We're like, this guy's going to be a superstar. Comes over to Kentucky, and it's like, oh, okay, well, look, we have to take it with a grain of salt because Kentucky's only played in 2 blowouts, right? So we don't know. Like, could Owe play 32, 33? Yeah, that's extremely possible in a game against Louisville, right? But because they weren't this deep last year, one, they had a bunch of injuries, right? Two, man, like at every position, it feels like the backup is just as strong, man. So, yeah, I mean, kind of one of those things where probably Owe and Diabate, I'm going to take some shots on Diabate, man. His rates, just from what we know and what we've seen, he has double upside mismatch with stock opportunity at 6,800. So yeah, I'm going to take some shots at Diabate. Jasper Johnson, Jalen Lowe's back. He's 5,300. Jasper Johnson is, but with Lowe back, it's like you're not going to see 27 or 28. You're just going to see a timeshare there. Definitely a ceiling there though, because like in 25 minutes, these guys in this type of game environment with this many possessions and this type of total, like these guys can get there, man. I just feel more comfortable with like an OA going for a 40. Diabate could definitely go for 35-40 at 6,800, which is $1,800 cheaper than OA. And Johnson, he could get to a 25, but it's like you're going to need like 6-7x probably to, oh God, just hit the reference right there. Didn't even realize it. Now I'm all thrown off, but really Jasper Johnson at 5,300, I don't think you have to go there, man. So I'm just going to take some shots at OA and Diabate and let you talk now that I went for the 6-7.
You just put it on the tee there. Louisville, as Anthony jumped into the chat, go Cards, 84 implied points here. Hadley's questionable, missed last game with the concussion, and he's a big part of what they do here. If he plays, I think you got to consider him in tournaments with his upside. It's much more comfortable to use these other guys, though. So use Hadley as sort of like a contrarian play in large field, sort of how you would use the Kentucky guys, I guess. Conwell is 7,500. Now, Louisville really hasn't been pushed, but I feel like these guys are lined up for like 30, 31, 32, maybe 33 minutes. Conwell's shot dependent at this price and the most expensive. So, again, another just if you want to get in on Louisville, I don't think he's going to be super popular. It is a way to get different, but looking at a little bit lower down the roster, Mike, maybe a couple of guys that are a little bit more attractive from a value perspective.
Yeah, I could see Ryan Conwell though, like heating up from 3 and dropping 27 points, but can you get anything to go with it? And yeah, could you get a couple of steals? Absolutely. Like I wouldn't be shocked if one of these guys, Conwell or Brown were on the optimal. I'm more interested in Brown, the stud freshman. He's 7,100. Huge usage rate to start the year, 33%. Has some rebounding upside. I think he's like 11th in assist rate to start the year. The turnovers have been an issue, but that should kind of offset with some of the steal upside that he's shown. I think he's an awesome tournament play. The whole key to this thing is like if you want to play tournaments on this one, like this is the time to just go. This is a tournament player's dream slate, man. So I have a lot of interest in Michael Brown. I don't know, man. I never played McNeely at 5,200. He's just shot dependent too. Could he get hot? Yeah, more of a floor play for me. Connie Ruth, we have to pay attention to this. So if you're talking Hadley, if Hadley misses, Ruth's at 4,600. You got to have a lot of interest in him. Look at what he's done. Right, he's gonna play 25 minutes or so if Hadley were to miss. Man, it's just such a good game environment, man. So, yeah, I'm not saying that, like, you have to jam him in there, but he's just going to be a solid play. Sanandra Frew, Vacation Pryor's return, man, kind of limits them. They're in a timeshare at the 5, it feels like. So those guys are kind of contrarian-type tournament plays. So, yeah, while this is, like, an awesome real-life game, these are, like, contrarian tournament spin-ups. So at least on Owe, even Conwell. Michael Brown's an awesome mid-tier tournament play. Diabate's an awesome mid-tier tournament play. You just hate the rotations on Kentucky. And I don't trust Isaac McNeely. You just have to hope he gets hot from 3. And then Connie Ruth, man, you absolutely need Javon Hadley out, and you're just praying for possessions to get him, his stats.
Not too often that you look at a game that's tied for the highest total on the slate, projected anyway, and you almost just say cross it off. It's just so hard. You can, right? And somebody will pick right. Somebody will do, I told you we should have, Conwell was going to hit 11 threes. Okay. Like, I mean, yeah, but it's tough, and none of these guys outside of, like you said, if Hadley's out, then, you look at Ruth's, but we'll see how it goes. Good stuff there, Mike. As always, we are rolling through this slate. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons, of course. Good stuff there. Live chat's rolling. keep it rolling as we move on to Texas Tech and Illinois. 164 implied points in this one. Another very high total on this slate. And for Texas Tech, Mike, it's really their first true test of the season, and they're finally healthy. It's JT Toppin at 10K flat. And when I say no need to worry, my accountant handled that, I mean it this time. Do we have to talk about playing this guy? He put up 63 fantasy points in his debut a few days ago. Yes, we have to talk about playing him, and yes, you should play him. So again, there's going to be plenty of value.
Best stud on the slate.
You could get a couple of these guys if you wanted to try to shove in Boozer and Toppin.
You can do it.
And get crazy. You can do it.
Yeah.
This slate. And then you have Watts at 4,200. Like Toppin, he missed the first game, but then he played 25 minutes the other day and put up 19 and a half fantasy points. So I think the Toppin Watts stack is going to be pretty popular. Watts' price is way too cheap. I don't know if anybody's going to I don't know if everybody's going to be as eager to play Toppin as I am, knowing that, okay, am I paying full price for that 63? I normally don't like to pay full price, but it's JT Toppin, man. And he's going to
get 40 of
He's going to get 40.
Yeah.
Like, so Toppin and Watts, I took the gold here at the top of the heap. But again, still some guys on this Red Raider side that we got to talk about at least.
Yeah, I mean, mentioned Christian Anderson. I mean, he's 8,700. That's that's a crazy price tag for Christian Anderson. But look, it's because he dropped 70 against Lindenwood when those guys were out. Now that those guys are back, so had a nice game, 37.5 fantasy points in that second game. That's value for 9K, but that's a hard ceiling to get past. And we need 5 and 6X so for tournaments, man. Still think he's a good contrarian tourney spin because I don't think he's going to be popular, especially with people jamming in Toppin. Toppin will probably be he will be the most popular spin up option on the slate by far in this game environment, close total. Not dealing with Boozer in the blowout. You're not dealing with the Florida guys vulturing each other, and also in a potential blowout in that one too, man. So yeah, Toppin, play him. Christian Anderson, I'm probably not going to get there. Donovan Atwell is kind of interesting as like a stacking partner, I guess. Like the minutes have been there, 36 and 35, put up 35 and 29 fantasy points. He's hit 6 threes in each game. He's only taking 3-pointers. So basically, if he hits a shot, it's 3.5 points. So I think he's a pretty interesting stacking partner. But yeah, you're gonna want to get some tech, man. Even at almost an 80 implied total in this Illinois team, I don't think they can defend very well, honestly. So yeah, I'm probably gonna be overweight on some of these tech guys.
That makes sense. I like this. We like games with big totals and close scores and clear defined roles. And we know what a couple of these guys, we just know what they're going to do. We know the floor, and I'm willing to pay to chase the ceiling on a couple of them. On the other side, Mike, Illinois, continuing the theme of this being a lot of these teams' first real opponent of the season. No disrespect intended, especially since Xavier just lost a game to. Never mind. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. But this is Illinois' first real test, right? Ivicic out. Big news again, missing with the knee issue. So Merkovich right there. 5,600 has been an absolute beast. Merk, you can't fade him at this point. He should be priced at 9K. And I think that's even being kind. Put up 44 and 35 fantasy points, 24% usage, 43% combined rebound rate, 13% assist rate. Until further notice, Merk, push the button for Merk. I don't do what I did. I don't know what to do with my hands there, but don't do that. Just push the button for Merkovich and feel happy that you can still get him at 5,600. Yeah, lock and load Merks at Snake's Eyes, and I'm with him on that.
Yeah, man, it's just too easy. His props were ridiculous when we got him early, and then they went up by 4 points each. Yeah, I mean, we got to talk about these other guys too in this total, man. Like so you said, Thomas Lobb was out. We got Zvonimir who's starting, and it's Big Z playing 29 minutes in a 43-point blowout. What is he going to do in 30 minutes in a close game if he can stay out of foul trouble? Like, look out, because we know he has massive slate breaking ceiling if he doesn't foul. Right, a guy can shoot threes, he can block shots, he can get a double. Like, this is an awesome spot for him as well. Verkovic kind of can take away a little bit from that, but the minutes, like we're used to Big Z like getting 22 minutes, it's like, oh, he put up 40, cool, or he played 22 minutes and oh, he put up 4 fantasy points. Well, now he's getting close to 30, especially with his brother out. So yeah, I think he's an awesome tournament play.
Can you play him with Merck at the same time?
Yeah, you can play them both together. Yeah, okay. They're pretty good. Just because their skill sets align, like they're not paint bound bigs. So yeah, they can both get there together. So that might be something I mess around with. Kylan Boswell, I'm not paying 8,900. Like, he rarely gets up into the 40s, much less into the 30s. So if you want to chase that, blowout game where he was just racking up fantasy points, like, go by all means do it at 9K. I'm not doing that. Keaton Wagler, awesome freshman, man, but just with Stojakovic back, his price has gone up. He was 3K flat in the opening night. Like, he's put up 35 fantasy points in both games, but this is this is a tough matchup. Illinois hasn't really been tested yet, man. So like, that's why we might want to be careful with some of these guys here. But yeah, for me, man, it's Merkovic, and just like, you just move on. Like, he's he should be 8-9K, like you said.
And he might be before too long, especially if Tomislav
Yeah, he's got a neat.
Continues to be out. If that's a lingering thing, man,
Yeah.
like we got something that we got to pay attention to. Obviously, then Big Z's price goes up, Mark's price goes up, and then you might have to make a decision there. It wouldn't surprise me especially if Tomislav is out again, to see like Zvonimir's and Merck's prices look very similar the next time we see them on a slate. We'll see what that looks like for sure. Oh man, the live chat, Merck 100% owned. I saw you flash that one up there, Darren. Good stuff there. It's going to get dunked on by Toppin. Well, I don't. That doesn't take away fantasy points for me. Okay, so I really don't care, to be honest. If
foul him on the dunk.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just stand your ground, take a charge, maybe even well, no, don't, because then that's a turnover, I think, and then I don't, because I'm going to be playing Toppin, so I don't want turnovers. Just no fouls. Okay, we're good there. All right. Rolling through this thing. 2 more games to go before we get to our core 4, so make sure you stick around to the end of the show for that. We'll give you our cash game cores, and then, of course, the tournament core 4 that Mike always brings you at the very end of the show, so make sure you hang out for that. Push the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Over 1,650 of your fellow hoophead and brethren of basketball have pushed those buttons. So make sure you do the same. We're on our way to 11 gazillion, fulfillion, and 1, I believe, is the overall goal that YouTube will make our own special plaque for. But for now, help us get to 1,675 before Thanksgiving. Why not? That's something that's reasonable, huh? Let's push those buttons, ladies and gents. Let's do it. Doug the Puck Talk, indeed. It's time for Memphis and Ole Miss. McDaniel and those Memphis Tigers. I was trying to explain to my wife, who, Mike, you obviously know, the other day, about how Memphis has tried to buy their way into power conferences and nobody really wants to mess with them because it's Memphis. And why that even matters in college basketball. But Memphis won't get to play Ole Miss in a conference game for sure, but they have to play them in the old preseason here. Not preseason, but what's non-con. 153-point implied total here for Memphis and Ole Miss. I'll start with Dougie McDaniel and the Memphis Tigers here. It's definitely his team. 37 minutes in the opening win against San Francisco. 23% usage, 40% assists, 6% steal rate in that game. Now, going on the road, a little bit tougher, but 30+ fantasy point upside, solid price. I think, it's just
a guy that 37-minute rule for these guys.
Yeah, he's just going to be around the ball, or on the court, around the court, near the bucket, whatever. Just play Dougie. I like him a lot. Doug McDaniel at 6,800. Parker 6,900. Mike, very similar in price. Are you interested in him? Like, I'm interested in McDaniel. I just heard that. I heard that sound right there. That's a no.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna pay $7K for him on this slate. Like it doesn't like one of those 4 gamers. Like okay, but you're right. Like we saw everything we need to see from Doug McDaniel. He's gonna play. He's playing that Kendrick Davis, PJ Haggerty, right? Like that point guard role at Memphis. You're just gonna play 37 minutes. The ball's gonna be in your hands, and you're gonna rack up fantasy points. Since your Parker's on the off ball, I just don't want to pay for a shot dependent player at 7K. You got Quante Berry at 3,900. He played awesome, man. But a bunch of these guards, man, they're just gonna run a huge rotation. 25 minutes for all these guys. So if you're expecting another 25 fantasy point game like he had in that first one against San Francisco, like potentially, like he's firmly in the tournament value player pool. So Quante Berry, the transfer from Temple, a little interesting there at that price tag. Aaron Bradshaw, like the names, Jay, that just today was a prime example. Jalen Stewart, bless his heart. Every time he's chalk, it just never works. Every time, Jaden Epps was 4K chalk, it just never works. Like there's just Riley Kugel at Mississippi State and Florida. It just never works, man. It's kind of the same. If he ever played, his rates are in this first game are ridiculous, but he's just fouling away, fouls out. When he was on the court, his usage rate was massive. He's like he's a 7-footer, former like top 3 player in high school. He didn't grab any rebounds. I think he blocked 1 shot. So like a lot of places, if you just put him at 22 minutes, looking at his rates, you're gonna be like, I gotta play this guy. But then like I don't know, man. Like it's just one of those things where it's going to drive you crazy. I'm going to toss him in a couple of tournaments. I can't see them running out there. No, so they have to if he's in foul trouble. He's a backup big, only played 22 minutes. He had an 11% usage rate. Bradshaw took 7 shots and he played 8 minutes. Didn't even have a block. He had a steal. Couldn't block a shot. Didn't really grab any rebounds, but it's there. So like he has huge upside if he plays 22 to 24. I don't trust it. So yeah, I mean. For me, man, it's like Doug McDaniel. It's a safe play here.
Bradshaw's the guy, like, if you guess on the right night, like, he helps you win a lot of money. It's just, can you not hack people, please? Like, please, maybe? I don't know. Ole Miss, how about this side, Mike? This whole side extremely underpriced for their 81-point implied total here. But the only problem is Chris Beard has played everybody, like, and their moms in the 2 blowouts to open the year. So I kind of want to say that in a game like this against, again, no disrespect to their other opponents, but like they're, in terms of like this being a big test here, on this side, like, do you put more stock in the fact that you think the starters will get a few more minutes?
I would think so. Like, I would absolutely think these guys touch 30, but we don't know. Like, it's like Kentucky. Like, could Owe and Diabate play 32? Yeah, they could. That's why this is a cool slate, man.
Well, and to be fair, it's that uncertainty is baked into these prices on the Ole Miss side. Malik Diaz 5,900. We know the upside that he has, especially at this price. This is, the pace up here in this one. Memphis is the top 30 tempo team in the country. So, like, $5,900 is hard for me to not want to click that button for Malik Diaz.
You were clicking him at 8K last
year.
Like,
it's just very difficult for me to not want to fit him into a lot of lineups. Nobody on this side really worth talking about is over 6K. Is anybody even listed?
No, I mean, listed over 6K.
Nobody's listed over 6, right? So yeah. I mean, again, you got some opportunities that you can, some guys that you might have to just hold your nose and swallow, in terms of taking your medicine. But I don't know. What do you think about this side?
Jay, if they play 30 minutes, if Dia just plays 28, he's gonna smash.
Yeah.
If Elias Kemarjean plays 30 minutes, like, I mean, this dude is a stud, man. International import, 35 and 26 against, obviously the loss there, but he's an awesome tourney projection if you put him in 30 minutes, man. I guess we'll talk about AJ Storr, Jay.
Begrudgingly.
I don't like rostering him, man. Fit him into that Kugel, Stewart, and Bradshaw thing we were talking about earlier. Super shot dependent. Weird. He has a 27% assist rate and 2 blowouts. That holds. Then yeah, you play him at 5,400. These guys are all awesome tourney plays. Like all awesome tourney plays. I think Conrad Jean has a lot more floor to him because the ball's in his hands a ton. He's got a play make. He's the guy with he's kind of, he's in that Padula role. James Scott down here at 4,300, like a great real life player. Awesome addition by Beard. Cheap price tag, but he doesn't do anything but rebound and block shots. But when you do that at a high clip, man, he puts himself in the player pool. I'm not playing Travis Perry. So really, man, it's like, yeah, I Malik Dia, AJ Store, if you want to get a little crazy in the large field. But they're all cheap for 81 team total. And if these guys touch 30 minutes, like we said, they're going to put some big numbers.
And if they don't, then they won't. So that's baked into your price there. Again, like it's a chance that you're taking there that they'll play. Beard is a little bit unpredictable sometimes. Will he play 12 guys? Will he tighten it up? He goes by feel, and I don't know if I'm willing, other than Dia, really to AJ Store, man, that's your guy. I don't know why you're just so negative about him all the time. That's a tough one. All right, very good. One more game here before we get to the core four. Thanks for hanging out with us. And if you made it this long, we know you're serious about getting that bread. So we definitely appreciate you for checking us out here on One and Done. Push the subscribe button if you haven't already. Show us some love. If you're watching on X, make sure you open the thing up, and then it'll say, "Oh, what do you want to do? Open it in the app." And you say, "Yeah, I want to open it in the YouTube app." And then it'll do that, and then subscribe is the button you push, and then the notification, boom. Do that too. Or if you're more of a Google person, go and type in one WON1 ampersand done, one and done college basketball. The first thing that's going to come up is our YouTube page. The second thing that's going to come up is our Twitter page. So click on both of those and push all the buttons that you need to do for sure. Good to see you, Mr. Mike Hoochie, in the live chat tonight. Excellent stuff there. One more game. It's Creighton and the Zags. Creighton and Gonzaga, 162-point implied total. A tough matchup for the Blue Jays, and not really a ton to like on this side. Owen Freeman didn't start the opener, but started the second half. One of those things that we're just gonna have to pay attention to leading up to it. I don't know if I want to pay 79, especially if he's not starting. But it's really just hard to trust his minutes on this type of slate. So I'm passing on to Owen Freeman. Do you like any of these Blue Jays, man? Like it's tough because we're gonna have to spend up to get to anybody that we might want to consider.
Yeah.
Do you like Dix or Graves or anybody like that?
Yeah, I mean Dix 7,700. He took a back seat in that first game to Nick Graves. I think he's gonna be much more aggressive in this. I think he has to be. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm gonna be using even in tournaments. I guess I could take a shot at Dix just because no one's going to play him. Nick Graves at 7,100, I guess, is probably the one guy. There's just not a lot to like here, Jay. I much prefer the pricing on this Gonzaga side at an 86 implied team total, man.
Yeah, I was going to ask you well, you don't have to like anything on that side.
And Cam's got it right, man. Like this Creighton defense is probably going to get. Yeah, they might go over this 86 team total.
Gonna go hard as a we know what it stands for, and let's start with EK here, 8,300, and it feels low. Fantasy Monster, massive rates across the board, 28% assist rate. Hello, my man, and he's shooting threes, Mike.
Like that started last year. That's crazy, bro.
Do you feel a 50 spot coming on this one? It's Owen Freeman, man. Again, no disrespect to Owen Freeman, but this is EK we're talking about here.
Freeman defense.
Yeah. Put it on a plate there. But that's a lot of points fast when you're like, and it feels like this is an opportunity for him to get going against an Owen Freeman and against this defense, man. So EK, one of the guys that when you're spending up, he's got to be one of the guys you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm 100% looking at him in tournaments. that price tag is too cheap. Yeah, 45 to 50 bomb could be coming in this one. And if it's not, I'm probably going to be switching it up to Braden Huff because there's a chance he goes for 35 or 40 at 6,700. He's an awesome pivot from EK. Love his rates. It's been kind of steady the first couple of games here, man. But flashing, high shot rate, high rebounding rate. He's got a little more stock upside than what we've seen. So yeah, both of these guys great tournament plays. The guards are interesting. Adam Miller, like just shot dependent at 4,400. If you think he gets hot, I don't think so, man. Like there's more of a floor type play. There's just no way on the slate you can probably really get to him. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, especially when Mario St. Superi. Man, I took all the unders on Braden Smith the other day. He only played 13 minutes because St. Superi came in, and he's going to be the starting point guard for this team. He went for 8, 3, and 6 with 4 stocks against Oklahoma off the bench and didn't really come off the floor once they decided they were kind of done with Braden Smith there. So, yeah, man, like just another great tournament option on the slate here. So, dude, like we've been saying, so many tournament options, man. There are so many guys that can easily go 6x, 7, even 8x on some of these missed prices that we've talked about. So it's going to take a ton of points, man.
You better be careful if you're hitting all those prize picks. They're going to start some federal investigation about, pitching, about the pitches and all that.
Yeah,
Have you seen that's so crazy, man?
Like 65 years for $5,000.
$200 max bet now on the pitch props and that's across the board. Yeah, what a jabroni. How do you those guys, you're making that much money and you gotta it is a thing. It's a thing. But all jokes aside here, we were watching that game the other night and the wife goes, Saint what? And I was like, yeah, he lives up to the name too, honey. He's gonna have another great game, 4,400. I'm gonna click his name quite a few times, I believe, on this slate. All right, that'll do it. That's 8 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games down. All that's left is the core 4 and more. Does it help the echo if I turn my face to the side?
A little bit. I heard a little extra echo off of that.
Yeah.
Dude, first thing before we get to the core 4, so
yeah.
I was complaining about Bay and Django with 2.5 fantasy points and not doing anything. He's finished with 8 points, 8 boards, 6 assists, and 4 stocks, which just won me like $400 on PrizePicks. So, and Jalen Stewart, I got 5 out of 6 because he couldn't do anything tonight. It cost me a chance to win 1,700, so that's fun. But anyway,
all right. Well, you can't win them all, okay? I mean, maybe you could. I mean, technically you can, I guess. But all right, good stuff there. All right, hey, let's get to the core 4s here. I'll start with the cash cores and those guys that we know will just have the higher floors in tournaments. Nate Calmise, we led off the show with him, and I'm leading off the core 4 with him. 4K flat. No need to worry. My accountant handles that. Too cheap. He's going to play 30 minutes, my guy. Click him if you're just looking for a nice floor there. Doug McDaniel, 6,800, going to play max minutes. Another guy, 37 minutes for Memphis. Any of their lead dog. Play Doug. Kamar Jean for Ole Miss, 6K flat. Nice floor. High usage guard. Love that team total there for the Rebels. So just speaking from a floor perspective, he's somebody that I think we can really trust in cash games. And then I'm shouting it from the rooftops. If you don't click JT Toppin's name and he drops 65, don't come crying. Now, who knows? Even if he gets 40 here that's probably not going to be enough to win you on this slate. It's going to take a lot of fantasy points, Mike. But if you're playing some cash games, I think you just hammer Toppin as your spend up, and then look at some of these mid-priced options as well. All right,
leave a 5,800, Jay. Not bad, man. Get a couple of value plays in there.
That's not too bad. But here we go now. Take the kitty gloves off, as Darren likes to say. I give you the safe plays, the cash plays. Now let's put on the big welding mask and light something on fire here. How about some high ceiling, higher risk players here? Some tournament core. What do you got?
I mean, I can't even call this a core because there's like legitimately 20 guys that I want to put on the tournament list. But just for sakes of the show, man, like Lawan Watts at 4,200, he's basically like Darren Williams light. He's 4,200. Like he's gonna put up 20 plus fantasy points as a floor, and his ceiling is 30 to 35 here in this spot. So Lawan Watts, the forward out of Texas Tech. David Merkovich, what are we doing here at 5,600? Hello, 40 fantasy point type upside in this game environment with Texas Tech. We got Malik Dia here, or I put an or. I know you love the ors, Jay. Malik Dia, fantasy rate monster, fantasy point per minute guy. I think he gets closer to 28 in this one. Mustafa Cham sitting there at 6K, even though he's in like the ugliest game environment. I don't mind looking at him there. They're both right around $100 difference there. Graham Ike at 8,300. I think he's got just an awesome price tag for his ceiling, which is 40 to 50 in this spot against the Creighton defense. And then, yeah, man, like there's just so many other guys that you could literally toss in. You mentioned St. Superi, really, I think Aaron Bradshaw, even though that's more of like you can just light your money on fire within the first 10 minutes of the game type of play. Big Z, obviously a guy that you could have tossed in here. Michael Brown, I think, is a cool mid-tier tournament play. There's just so many, right? Like Boogie Fland paying up $9,000 for one of the Florida forwards is is a route that you can go. Cam Boozer, right? At 5 figures. So yeah, this is a fun. If you love playing tournaments, this is the tournament to play. This is a slate to play.
You can get just a reminder. You can get to Cam Boozer and JT Toppin.
Yeah, easily
on this slate.
Yeah,
you can do it.
Watts, Merkovich, St. Superi, like you're already there,
and you're there.
Yeah.
I love it. I think, Darren joked earlier about Merk being 100%, and I feel like he was about in the one and done invitational. He's going to be very popular and extremely popular in everything. So if you're looking to get different and you're building a roster around, a couple of those guys that, we're all going to just click as a free square, it's something to consider there. But again, don't get cute. Click the name, and let's get this bread. What do you say, guys? Shall we? Guys and gals, of course. Let's do it. Let's do it. Why not? Hey, good stuff there, Mike. Always the best in the business, right there. Way to go. Always appreciate
the Invitational and play with us. See who your training plays are.
Is that's in the live chat?
Yep.
So make sure you
it's
follow
also
that.
The QR code above Jay's. Over there somewhere in that. There it is, right there. He's touching it right there.
Is it? Okay. Make sure you hop in you hit the QR code, you follow the link, whatever you want to do to get over to the One and Done Invitational. You can also find that link. I'm sure we'll tweet it out at One and Done CBB over on Elon's Hellhole. Make sure you follow us over there for a grand old time. We've been tweeting out quite a few green screens, which is bringing me back to our days when, the green screens media was all we used to do around these parts. And now we're just one and done. We're still seeing green screens and we're still getting this bread. And we are still very thankful that all of you take the time to join us on this journey that we're taking in the college basketball world. Excellent stuff there. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Good to see you in the live chat. As always, Darren, Cam, Mike, Hoochie in there, of course, Snake's Eyes, Anthony hopping in. Definitely good to see Anthony in the live chat. Who else was in there? Oh, the king of the single entry, Corey, graced us with his presence for a short while as well. Forklift Jeremy hopped in. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're staying warm. John in there, fellow Mean Green with Darren. And then Zion's Left Shoe was in there early on in the show. I love running down everybody there that hops in the live chat. It's always good to see it, and it's always good to see all of you. So make sure you push all those buttons if you haven't already. Follow us on the show. Follow that man sharing the screen with me at MC Holland 34, El Capitan around these parts. We're chasing commas. Hope you chase it with us. Let's get this bread. Until next time, hey, which might be, live reaction show. Make sure you push the notification bell. It's coming tomorrow. My name is JAYHEINRICH. Come again. Peace.